Right, and okay, guys, I'm back. Okay, so I don't know what happened, why this happened, but I'm back. So if you want to come in, jump in, and say hi, get in the chat. So Matt Belloni does a podcast called On the Town. He's the guy from Puck.com. He used to be one of the managing editors at The Hollywood Reporter, and he has a podcast now, and he's one of the founders of Puck. So, and he basically said, first off, what he said, he talked about the Soderbergh Driver movie that Disney went, no, we're not doing it. And he basically said, I understand why they did it, and I understand why Disney didn't want to take the risk. Financially, it would be a stupid thing to do, especially, he didn't come out and say this, the character doesn't put butts in seats. I mean, he compared Adam Driver to Ryan Gosling in Starfighter, and hi Kim, and basically said Ryan Gosling will draw people to the box office, Adam Driver won't, right? I mean, so there you go. And then he started talking about Kathleen Kennedy and how, the stories where she really liked the idea, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And it was really kind of funny because it was just the snarkiest thing you've ever heard. I've got a link in the description, so when I'm done, because I'm not going to be on very long, you guys can go listen because it's hilarious. He also said she was leaving anyway. So what's going on? Now you guys all know what I think, right? You guys all know that, I think she's behind the fan bullshit. I mean, look, what's the rule of thumb? The average blue-haired land whale with the septum piercing probably couldn't afford to buy a banner to fly over, I guess it was Walt Disney Studios in Burbank. The average blue-haired land whale or psychotic Zoomer brat couldn't afford to get billboards on Times Square. So you gotta think, who did they have a GoFundMe? I didn't see anything about that. So who's behind it? I think it's probably Kennedy. But then he added something about Lucasfilm hasn't really done well by talent, and people are talking about it. He said people are talking. That is something that, that you put two and two together, you get four, right? Yeah. So it was really, you gotta listen to it. Then he goes into the Netflix stuff, and I really don't care about that. So we've got that, and it's really kind of funny, and that's what we've got going. But it's just the almost dismissive way he talked about Kennedy, and then pointed out she was wishy-washy. He said that, I think. She couldn't make a decision, and the decisions that she did make were bad. And he brings up how a lot of talent won't work with Lucasfilm anymore because of the way Lucasfilm, Kennedy treated them. So it's really, I think, kind of fascinating in a way because, you're kind of like, wow. And of course, like I said, he knew that the Ben Solo movie had already been killed for a long time and couldn't say anything. What else does he know that he's not talking about? So here's another thing. We're going to hear more, I think, as we get closer to whenever. I thought she was actually going to announce she was leaving on the 31st, and she didn't. I really think she's terrified of what people are saying and what people will say behind her back. It's like, Kathy, it's too late for that. I mean, honey, it's over. Okay, it's over. But this is, I think one of these days someone's going to write a book about what really happened behind closed doors at Lucasfilm. And I don't think Disney's going to look really good. Kathy Kennedy will not look good at all. She's so in over her head. And again, I'm not saying a woman couldn't do the job. Do I have to bring up Sherry Lansing and Lucille Ball? Okay, do I have to? There you go. They did a very, they were solid leaders of the studios they ran, and they made wise decisions. I mean, Kennedy's just an angry boomer, bra burning feminist. So, okay. Anyway, this is going to be real quick because there's really not much going on. The idiots in New York voted for a bottom-feeding scumbag, an anti-Semite, and a communist. And, I'm just like, he's going to fall flat on his face. New York is going to start failing. It's going to go tits up. And then everybody said, we warned you. So there you go. But yeah, I'm not upset. I mean, look, last night, I think a lot of the Republican operatives like Scott Pressler, etc., really wore themselves too thin. And Republicans don't necessarily vote at all in these off-year elections. One of the townships near me had an 18% GOP turnout. Anyway, so it's, there you go. But anyway, I'm gonna rock. I got other stuff to do, and eventually I'm gonna have to make some dinner. But I kind of want to chillax before. So you guys have a good afternoon. Sorry this was fast, but yeah, Belloni was pretty much trolling Kathy on in his podcast on the town. So anyway, all I can do is pray for New York. Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy.